Also tonight, comedy from the Hole in the Wall gang and Friends with Dry Your Eyes. That's in 40 minutes. But first, here on BBC One Northern Ireland, some familiar faces recall the funny side of the Troubles.
And as Bad Moon Rising enters the charts, serious rioting erupts in Derry and Belfast, rising into a spiral of sectarian violence, now known as the Troubles.
What do you call a Roman when he leaves the room? A Fenian bastard. Now we'll do that again for the camera for the Catholics. What do you call a Protestant when he leaves the room? An orange bastard. There you are.
The Troubles were sad and bad. But they could have been a lot sadder and badder had Ulster folk not possessed a unique character trait, a daft, defiant, droll and self-effacing sense of humour. In short, not only the ability to laugh at others, but also to laugh at ourselves.
There's a friend of mine spent £600 on a bulletproof vest and got shot up the arse.
Frank Carson's crack, and just a couple of snapshots of that good old Ulster wit that got us through the Troubles. But sometimes the drama of real life raised a smile too.
I've been mugged! Mugged!
Here's top Ulster actress Olivia Nash, best known for her role as Ma in Give My Head.
I used to work for Antrim County Council, as it was called in those days, and I worked in the courthouse. But a thing that we were allowed to do was every Friday, over in the jail, which was across the road to Crum, they grew beautiful raspberries. So they gave them to me in a tin box.
Now here's a wee get out of jail story, if ever you heard one.
So out I go to go down into town to York Street Station. So I'm sitting there quite merrily on the bus, and as I stood up with my box, I looked, and I was covered in dark red. Just as I was discovering this, the alarms all went off and there was a bomb scare. Just as I got into the station, there was the great big bang. Thing, this person near me, oh my God, she's been hit, oh she's been hit, oh look, oh this child's been hit. And there I was, as I say, covered it, and I am lying there totally humiliated, scared to get up, because I thought, how am I going to tell these people that this is raspberry stains?
There are artefacts of the Troubles which reflect pure folly and farce. There's a collection here at the Linhall Library in Belfast. They're not hilariously funny, but they do show off the old Ulster wit. They say if you're an orange man and you want to get ahead, you got to get a bowler hat and legs that go like this. They get you down the Garvaghy Road. And if you want to get shirty over Drumcree, there's always a crocodile here. And what about Santa with a sash? It even plays the sash. And there's beer, Biggott's beer, 100% bitter, and Keen Billy marmalade, orange, of course.
Excuse me, could you tell me what the carry-on is for today?
This is a glorious 12th of July, a glorious past and immortal memory. And all them men there is celebrating. Up King Billy! It was old, but it was good.
As the Troubles raged, genius James Young tackled the worsening situation head on. He could make us laugh or cry, turning crisis into comic cameo.
Come on round to my house, I don't live far away. I'll give you a cup of tea. And
I'm Murphy, so it's very nice of you, but I can't leave my unit.
I will come and bring it with you.
Others, like the late great Royal Friars with his satirical cartoons, raised a chuckle nightly in the Belfast Telegraph, while the front page reflected the cruelty and carnage of daily life and death.
Well,
But the terrible times spawned a new breed of comedians who were more daring and willing to poke fun at both politicians and paramilitaries.
I was doing this gag about the Sinn Féin President Gerry Adams, who decided to open up a bed and breakfast up in West Belfast, namely the Kneecapper's Arms. We also have the Bobby Sands suite where you get a bed, but you don't get no breakfast. So that's where it fell apart. 90% of the club were laughing their heads off. I immediately went into the next character of Jerry Fitt. And I put these glasses on, which are like the bottoms of Coke bottles. They're very, very thick, so you can't really see through them. But I seen this figure getting closer and closer and closer. And I lifted the glasses, and this guy just took the mic. And he got stuck into the club, and he says, "Right, how dare you laugh at that joke about Bobby Sands?" He says, "That's a disgrace." So I quite hastily got into the back, into the change room, got my stuff together, and got out of the club. So the club got wrecked. So it was a very, very hairy moment, I have to say.
And nobody phoned a taxi for you, John, no?
Nobody phoned a taxi. I already had the car running and the door wide open, and I made a very hasty retreat.
An old mate of mine reveals just how close to the cutting edge a comic could go without going too far.
I remember going out to this club on the Shankill Road, and I got on stage and I looked behind, there was a picture of King Billy and 1690 underneath it. I says, "Your calendar's a bit out of date." And most of them laughed, except for one fella at the counter, and he with this glare. Then I heard the wee noises. I says, "I hope that's glasses and that's safety catches." And he just kept looking at me.
Well, this is it, Mervyn. It has finally happened. What? Invasion, that's what. We've been invaded by the Fenian state.
In 1989, BBC Northern Ireland bravely followed suit with a late-night satirical show, poking fun at the Troubles themselves. Before the end of the first broadcast, the BBC switchboard was jammed with a torrent of complaints.
Walster says no!
After the first edition of the show, to put it bluntly, all hell broke loose. I'd never seen a press reaction or public reaction like that.
The rhythm method is the only acceptable means of contraception.
It was disgraceful, outrageous, sacrilegious, and even blasphemous.
Here you have as the main front page headline, "Show must not go on." Down the side, "Man shot dead at his door." I mean, that is terrible that a television programme received priority over a terrible tragedy like that.
People ask me at the airport, "Ed, why come to Belfast?" The answer is simple. In Belfast, time has stood still.
The lead headline, "We made errors," says BBC's chief about the show. Halfway down, Berlin Wall coming down. Momentous day, says Margaret Thatcher. But in Belfast, the show takes precedence over the collapse of the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, so you could say that the Berlin Wall was coming down, big lad, while your back was to the wall.
I know. I suppose I should feel quite proud of that, really.
Easter Monday, the apprentice boys will watch me lead the way, marching down through Banbridge town on a beautiful spring day. I love the martial tramp of men, and it stops me getting fat. I'm the kind of fella that would march at the drop of a bowler hat. Oh, we're gonna have a summer like we never had before, and we're gonna have 2,000 marches more.
One of the stars of the show, zany funny man John McLean, hit the headlines again, bringing a titter to the tinderbox that was Drumcree, even though he got the bum's rush, literally, from the Brits.
I got a phone call from a certain Sunday paper, and this guy had said to me, "John, I know you're very daring and you don't really give a damn. You'll say this and you'll say that and you'll do this and you'll do that." He says, "But would you go up the Carvackie Road in your birthday suit, wearing an orange sash?"
Bowler hat, no?
So I knew the weather was going to be good the next day, so I thought, right, pick me up in the morning, which they did. We went up into Carvackie Road near the church where the fields are, and there I was plundering about the fields naked with a sash on. And there was actually soldiers running about there as well, and they were having a bit of a tittle to themselves. The police apprehended me and gave me a caution. So not to be deterred, I just got into the car again and we went on to the actual Carvackie Road itself, where I got out again. And there was 2 lines of traffic going up, buses, cars, lorries, and I walked right up the white lines of the Carvackie Road for about 100 yards. I actually poked fun at the whole situation, to be honest with you, because I thought it was quite ridiculous.
So it wasn't only your orange feet that marched up the Carvackie Road, it was the rest of your neat little anatomy as well, was it?
I like the way you said neat little anatomy there, Jim. Yes, the whole lot. I really didn't care, to be honest with you. But when I sit and think about it, I think how crazy was I to